Hi everybody. So in the last few Grovers we did, I talked about the different ways that we can define our leadership styles through different personality tests like the Enneagram and MBTI and the Clifton Strengths Finder. And today I just want to talk about how those gifts are awesome and great, and with those gifts you can go out and do good in the world. So I have a few Bible verses that I want to share with you. The first of which is Psalm 139 verse 14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that well. So in my Bible, I wrote next to this verse, God's works are marvelous, and I am one of them. And I want all of you to remember that too. Because while we were talking about all these different leadership styles, you might have realized that people out there have a lot of different gifts. People are often very different from each other. I know I am very different from my roommates, from my friends, from my family, but that doesn't mean that the gifts that I've been given are any less good or worthy or useful in doing God's work in the world. Whatever your leadership style is, you can take that out into the world and show God's love and show God's kindness and show God's grace to everybody you meet, even if that isn't in an explicitly Christian way. The other Bible verse I would like to share with you is Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Sometimes doing good in the world can be very difficult, and it can seem really hard and really difficult. And you might get tired of doing it, and that's okay. But we need to remember that this is long work, that doing God's work in the world, showing God's love and doing God's works are a lifetime commitment. You don't go out and do one thing and then be like, oh, well, I showed God's kindness to one person, so I'm done. That's not really how it works. We want to make sure that we are in this for the long haul, that this is a marathon and not a sprint, a marathon that lasts the length of our entire lives. And with that, I want to make sure that you know that it is okay to sometimes take a step back, that sometimes it's okay to take a moment for yourself to recover, to rest, because a rested body and a rested mind are a useful body and a useful mind. And so even if you feel like your gifts are unuseful, are unworthy of doing God's work in the world, or maybe you feel like you're too tired, know that God always has a plan for us. God always wants us to do what is best for ourselves, but also best for other people. And God loves us no matter what.